I would like to welcome Dr. Álvaro Huerta, Professor of Ethnics and Women's Studies.
Buenas noches todos. I'm going to start like I did in 2018 when we commemorated Juan Gómez-Quiñones. So to me, everything and every day I think about el maestro Juan Gómez-Quiñones. Since he passed away, there hasn't been a day that I haven't cried. And I sometimes feel like I'm going to run out of tears. Because he was more than a professor. He was more than a mentor. He was more than a colleague. Era familia. With Juan, he was like the godfather. Whenever he picked up the phone and called you, whatever he said, you had to do. You didn't have an option. He reminded me of my father when he would ask me to do things. And Juan Gómez-Quiñones, he had that look, that tough look that we called in the projects, Big Hazard, that whenever he asked you to do something, you would do it. But at the end of the day, whenever you got to know him, you realize that when you scratch beneath the surface, he was a big, sweet teddy bear. He would always laugh at your jokes, even if they weren't funny. He had this chuckle. He would laugh. And he loved sports. He loved to drink. And he loved the Mexican culture, the Mexican arts. He knew what it was to be at the Olympic Auditorium to see the great Mexican boxers. Everything about being Mexican was what he praised and what he wrote. When I got to UCLA in 1985, I was a 17-year-old kid from the projects, from Boyle Heights. And just like others have said, I never knew that a Mexican professor, a Chicano professor existed because all my teachers were white, from K to 12. And I was astounded that somebody, a Mexican of his stature, was at the best public university in the world, teaching and telling us, those of us who are of Mexican descent, that we have history too, and that our history matters, and that our history can be taught at the finest universities in the world. And Juan Gómez-Quiñones le valía. He didn't care what his colleagues thought. He would actually walk down the hall and not say hi to anybody. He would say hi to the office manager, hi to the office people, but he didn't care. He didn't need their validation. I don't like when people say, you know, so-and-so is the Chicano version of Howard Zinn or the Chicano version of Noam Chomsky or Gramsci or anybody, or Franz Fanon. Ni madre. Juan Gómez-Quiñones is Juan Gómez-Quiñones. He is not a copy carton of anybody. He made us feel important, and he believed in us more than we believed in ourselves. That a kid from the project with illiterate parents can attend the best universities in the world, and you have a homeboy like Juan Gómez-Quiñones who has your back. And it doesn't matter if other professors from elite universities frown upon you. You know that you have Juan on your back, and that's all that matters. And to me, that's what it's all about. It's about la familia. It's about being Mexican. It's about being working class. It's about having that solidarity with your own people. There was a contradiction in Juan where he grew up in the proletariat, but he was taught in the bourgeoisie. But within that contradiction, he committed class suicide, and he sided with the proletariat. He sided with our people. He sided with my people. And he made me feel belong at the best universities in the world, and I don't feel inferior anywhere I go because of Juan, because I know he's with me today. We are all people who have been impacted by somebody that only comes around once in a century. He is our shining star. And I love that he became part of my life, and he influenced me for who I am and what I am today. And for the rest of my life, I will continue to sing his praise. Viva Juan Gómez-Quiñones, viva his familia, and I am who I am because of Juan Gómez-Quiñones. Muchas gracias.